Hey, chiropractors, welcome to Modern Chiropractic Mastery with your host, Dr. Kevin Christie, where we discuss the latest in marketing, business, and professional growth with some of the leading experts in the industry. Welcome to Modern Chiropractic Mastery. Today we have a unique episode. We're actually diving into a new little topic format, and this is just going to be marketing potpourri. There's going to be a various amount of topics here. I think we have about eight where they've come up in our coaching calls, our mastermind, questions I've gotten, our Facebook group, and just little nuggets of information around marketing. And we may do some of these solo episodes on business or finances, and communication, leadership, little ones here, little solo episodes for you. But before we dive into that, a little bit of housekeeping updates, just give you kind of a state of the union for MCM. We just finished our fourth weekend of the mastermind in 2023, four of four. It was in Celebration, Florida, which is a little offshoot of Orlando. It's kind of the Disney inspired town. And we had a great weekend. Just really topped off the year wonderfully. We had Crystal Meisenheimer of Progressive Practice Sales talk about build to sell and really understanding what it takes to have a practice that's sellable. Even if you're not selling it tomorrow, you want to build it that way because it will be more profitable while you own it. And you never know what could happen and when you need to sell it. And then ultimately, it will be more turnkey as you go along. And we just had a awesome weekend to top it off. Just a lot of fun, a lot of learning, a lot of great conversations, and that's really what it's been about for this mastermind. This was the second year of this group. We had basically 100% return rate from the 2022 crowd. We're only losing a couple from this crowd into next year, and we're adding. We're capped at our 25 amount for the East. So we had to, as many of you know, start a West cohort and we have a good amount of members for that already. We do have spots available there. Just to give you a little bit of the trajectory of this East group, we started out with 14 in 2022, and we grew to 22 for this year and up to the 25 capped at next year. And we're already at 11 for the West, but you can add to that. And so we're getting near that goal number. We kind of wanted to have 12 at least to start. So we're going to get there, which is exciting. And it's a great group that has committed for next year for the West Mastermind. You can check that information out at modernchiropracticmarketing.com if you're interested and qualify. If you don't necessarily qualify for it when you see on there, but you think you'd be a unique fit to it, reach out to me and we could discuss that. Other housekeeping, we as this episode releases, we've finalized the application submission for the $5,000 scholarship. That end date was November 17th to submit, and now we are working through the applications. Had quite a turnout of submissions, which was awesome. And so we are going to be donating $5,000 to a chiropractic entrepreneur and excited to be able to do that for someone. And I'll update you on who the winner is once we have picked that out. We're rounding out the year here at Modern Chiropractic Mastery. We have expanded our services a little bit. We offer everything from group coaching to marketing done for you to some one-on-one, all kinds of different services you can check out. You can reach out to us. You can email me, Kevin at modern-jockey.com. You can go to our website, modernchiropracticmarketing.com. You can go to our Instagram, been a lot more active there on Instagram. And you can follow us there, putting out content, short videos, updates. And obviously, we're doing Facebook as well, but we're definitely a lot more active on Instagram currently. So check that out. All right, let's dive into our first little marketing aspect. YouTube auto subscribe. This was brought to my attention in our one of our group coaching calls. One of the great things about those calls is we get a lot of people in there and a lot of great idea sharing. But there, you could. I'm just going to have you YouTube it, but you can actually have a little prompt that when someone goes, and clicks on your video to get to your they get to your YouTube channel essentially, a little pop-up will happen to have them subscribe to your YouTube channel. It does increase the amount of people that will subscribe to your YouTube. So they get to your YouTube channel, a little pop-up comes and it gives them an opportunity to click to subscribe really easily versus trying to find that. And so that could be a growth opportunity to build your YouTube subscribers. On that, note, I think you should send out a nice email every so often to encourage them to subscribe to your YouTube channel if you are consistently putting videos on your YouTube. Try to grow that. They will get notified when you do upload some videos to that. So check out the YouTube auto subscribe. There's a good little video on there. Again, you can just Google it or YouTube it, and you'll find plenty of tutorials on how to do that. Second is email open rates and click through rates. A great question we had. From a strategic standpoint, as a chiropractor, most of your email lists are going to be your current and past patients, right? There are some companies that have huge email lists where it's not current clients or customers, but for you, it most likely is going to be. Uh, the vast majority of the emails you are going to get are from your current and past patients. And so, one of the questions I get is if you put a blog or some content and you email them to that, should I try to get them to my website? My answer is no. I'd like to put the entire blog or the entire video with written compelling copy or newsletter, whatever, on the email. Let them consume it on the email. But on the bottom of it, you should have where to schedule, phone numbers and online schedulers to schedule from the email. These people already know your practice, they already know you. We don't need to take them to your website to find out more, most likely. And most of those other companies are trying to get people to buy from their website. You're not trying to get anybody to buy from your website, most likely. If you're running some kind of nutritional supplementation, you have an online store, and you send out certain emails like that, that's different. But for the sake of our traditional chiropractic marketing through email, we're trying to keep them on the email list, or sorry, on the email platform. And so, with that being said, I don't really want you to worry about click through rates. It's not going to be a huge deal to you. MailChimp, actually, you can Google it and you can write in something like MailChimp open rates and click through rates, which we did in one of our group calls. And it'll actually give you industry standards for click through rates and email open rates. Now, email open rates is where I want you to really, know that number. And MailChimp says for health and wellness industry, 21 point something percent is the average open rate for emails in that particular industry. Many of our chiropractors are getting a lot more than that. Our particular practice happens to be at 46% of the last few months of the emails we've been sending out. And so definitely check your email open rates. And you really want to be, in my opinion, in the mid 20% and higher. If you're doing that, you're doing good. And think of it this way: if you've got 2,000 people on an email list and you get, a quarter of them to open, that's a good amount of people. That's 500 people seeing your content for really negligible cost because MailChimp is not expensive. For some of you, it's free if your email list is at a certain point. And otherwise, it's really a nominal fee, $20 a month, $50 a month, something like that. And that's a great amount of eyes on your content, which in my opinion should be doing weekly if you're sending out content rich emails. Let's take a break from today's episode and announce our first sponsor. This is going to be Propel Marketing and Design. I've known Darcy Sullivan for years. We've worked hand in hand on my websites. I don't trust anybody else to do the search engine optimization. She does a great job. There's so much to it. A lot of the lingo and the words are beyond my comprehension, but it's just amazing work that she does. And if you're really going to get results with Google, you have to make sure your website is SEO optimized. And I really don't want you doing it yourself as a chiropractor. So you just have to have this type of stuff done. And if you're looking to get more organic online traffic that pulls in new patients, Propel Marketing and Design is currently offering chiropractors who listen to this podcast a free SEO website review. The free review will help you uncover methods that will improve your website and boost your search engine visibility. Head over to propelyourcompany.com/chiropractor and schedule your free SEO website review. You won't regret it. She gets great results. Your website needs this. Your search results need this. Head on over there to propelyourcompany.com/chiropractor to get your free SEO website review. All right, number 3, Instagram follows. A great strategy we got from one of our clients was they follow their patients on Instagram. When you do that, there's a higher chance they follow you back. If you're familiar with Instagram, it shows you who has started following you, and it gives you a little button that says follow back. And so this particular practice follows their patients on Instagram. I think it's a little bit less, a lot of people aren't on Facebook aren't going to friend request their patients. And I understand that. I think there's a big difference from following somebody on Instagram versus friend requesting them on Facebook. It's a little less personal on Instagram. I think it's a little less, um, you know, odd. It's not odd on Facebook for some situations. There's a lot of, if the person's like, oh, we go to church together, and he's like, oh, like, or my best friend is your friend. Like, there's a lot of ways where, I have a lot of actual patients on my personal profile, personal friends over the years. I don't do it as much, but a lot of it was them requesting me, and it was fine. And like I sponsored a lot of triathlon groups and involved in the community, and just like it hasn't been an issue for me. But I think the Instagram thing is definitely a lot easier and a lot more, let's call it just socially acceptable. Acceptable. I wouldn't start DMing them necessarily, but just for the sake of trying to grow your following on Instagram, if you do follow them, there's a better chance they're going to follow you back. It's not 100%. It's not creepy at all. And there's a higher chance that when you post on your Instagram, people that know, like, and trust you are going to see that content. So consider following your patients on Instagram. Next would be Google Business Posting. You can post on Google Business Profile. It used to be called Google My Business. Now it's just Google Business Profile. And you should be posting on there. We post for our clients on there weekly. I post blogs on there. I post video, YouTube links, getting them back to our YouTube channel. And so we're posting on Google, and that's going to help your Google Business Profile and then ultimately your search, your organic search. So start posting on Google Business. It's not that hard. Again, if you need to know how to do it, Google it. Next is I want you to start thinking of your podiatrists and your dentists. A lot of people will think of the podiatrist as, okay, I don't, I do treat foot and ankle or I don't either way, but they're going to want to keep that in house. And that's fine. Like I've connected with a lot of podiatrists and have gotten referrals for foot and ankle stuff, especially if you do certain things like, active release technique or, they believe in manipulation, you do foot and ankle manipulation. But if you do shock wave, laser, things like that, and they don't have that, you can definitely get referrals from them. But I want you to think of it from a little bit of a different perspective. How about, we don't think about this too often, but how many patients have some kind of radicular symptoms that are going into their lower extremity? Um, Typically, it's all state dependent, but typically the podiatrist is going to be below the knee. That's where they're responsible for. And so a lot of people are going to have below the knee symptoms. They come into the podiatrist, and it's actually a radicular issue from the lumbar spine. And they need someone to refer to, and that could be you. That does happen. They do get those, and they need to refer it out. So you could, talk to a podiatrist about those particular cases and what you do for those. Right? Next is a lot of times they're putting, for right or wrong, they're putting their patients into boots and cam walkers and that type of things, or they're on crutches. Right? What can happen when they're doing those when they're using crutches or walking boots, they're going to potentially have hip and back issues from that, as we all know. And they may need someone to manage the hip and the back, and that would be you. So check out your podiatrists. Dentists, great opportunity in certain specialties for if you do TMD work, TMJ, TMD. If you're working with that, you got to get connected with your dentists. So start looking at them. A lot of people talk about MD marketing. and they just think of orthopedists and primary care doctors, but start thinking of your podiatrists and your dentists. Let's take a short break for one of our great sponsors, TrackStat. It is a new type of software plugin for your EHR that combines patient communication, marketing, automation, and statistics with patient and employee tracking. Built by chiropractors for chiropractors, it shows your team what to focus on each day. See patient visit habits, missing information, unpaid bills, insurance collection visit average, and more. Great visibility of data so you can focus on filling your office with your best patients. When you can see what your staff and patients are doing or not doing and take action accordingly, your profits naturally grow. Take TrackStat for a test drive in your office with our free trial. Not a techie, no problem, we can help. To get started on your free trial, visit trackstat.org and watch the demo. That is trackstat.org. Next, this is the time of year where you need to start doing your use it or lose it campaigns. We recommend this to all our clients, and we have information and how to strategies around to do it. But you need to start letting your patients know and your community through social media, through email, through posts in your office, all the different channels that their in network deductibles might be renewing at the end of the year. And they may have met their deductible, they may have met their out of pocket max. Let them know about that, what that means. Could be free services if they've met their out of pocket max. They may have a HSA HRA account and that may not roll over for the year. So you want to let them know this is the time to really get the word out on the use it or lose it campaign. This is the time to do it. As this comes out, it's late November. Get that going. You'll see quite an uptick of patients, especially if you're an in-network practice. So do that. Next to last is the hub and spoke model. As I've been doing this marketing thing for quite a while now. We're rolling up on 10 years since I've been doing heavily marketing for our practice, and 7 or 8 years since MCM is really, was the infancy of everything and the podcast and the Facebook group. Um, the hub and spoke model still, to me, is the best for the chiropractic practice. You got to get your website as the hub, and everything off that is the spoke. Instagram is a spoke, email is a spoke, Facebook is a spoke, Google, like it just, TikTok, if you're doing that, those are the spokes, but the hub has to be your website. You really want to make sure that that is a content rich, living, breathing thing that people get to, and you really build a reputation with that and have a great website. And so that has not changed. I want you to really focus on a phenomenal website. Make sure it's SEO optimized. Make sure you're doing all the things for Google and all the other stuff. You want to create this total web presence, but the website is still really, really important. And that is the hub of the hub and spoke model. All right. Lastly, growing an associate's practice by giving them connections you don't have the time to follow up on. I'm in a unique scenario right now in my private practice, at least unique for me, where I'm the only provider. It hasn't happened too often. It's been a little while. I'm the only doctor. We're really busy with patients, especially this time of year. I have to run MCM. I have to record podcasts like this. I have a lot going on. I am very efficient. I am very strategic with my time, but definitely one of the things that has suffered is my ability to get out into the community and follow up on all the connections and leads that I have cultivated over the last 15 years. And many of you are like that. Many of you are really busy with patients. Many of you have really good opportunities to connect in the community, but you just don't have the time or bandwidth to do it right now. But you have that associate, or you have that preceptor that might be an associate, or you may need a reason why you need an associate. Frankly, if you brought on an intrinsically motivated associate and the only thing they did for 6 months was follow up on your leads and cultivate that, that would probably generate enough business to cover the cost of that associate. You'd have to have a good plan around that, and that's something we talk a lot about, But I want you to start thinking about that. Like, what are all those leads and connections that you just cannot cultivate because you're just too busy as the owner doctor, but could be a way for that associate to start growing their patient base and ultimately growing the collections for your practice. And so start thinking about that. All right. Those are the 8 topics that I had top of mind over the last few weeks that have been popping up, little nuggets of information for you to start pondering and improving your marketing. Again, we'll probably do some of these where I cherry pick 6 to 8 business things, financial, communication, leadership. The list goes on. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you learned a few things. And again, consider the mastermind. Consider the West Mastermind. I'm not someone that speaks in hyperbole. I'm not an overseller. I'm not afraid to mention things, as you know. I'm not afraid to sell. I'm not afraid to promote, but I do it in a way that's not bombastic and hyperbolic. And but I can tell you that this mastermind has had such an ROI for its members that they are coming back. It is a commitment. It's a commitment financially. It's a commitment time, and it's a commitment with travel and other things. But it's just been such a game changer for everybody involved, and I'm excited for the West group, and I have no doubt if you have a beginner's mindset, you believe in ROI, you believe in being coachable, and you believe in the power of a mastermind, because it is a true mastermind. This is not me just up there telling you how it is. This is a group think situation. I highly recommend you if you fall into those categories and you want to take that next step and not be on an island, check out the mastermind. Go to modernchiropracticmarketing.com. There's a mastermind tab. There's a West tab. Reach out to me, and we can chat about it. Have a great week in practice, and talk to you soon. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. And if you want to make the shift from busy, broke, and broken to time-free and cash confident, or you just want to continue with the exponential growth, check us out at modernchiropracticmarketing.com. Look at the MCM Mastery tab, watch the short video on there, and check out what we are doing now for evidence-informed chiropractors. We are equal parts coaching and marketing done for you. Yes, you shoot some videos, we help you with campaign strategies and ideas and really become a thought leader in your community. You shoot those videos, you send them to us, we produce, edit, and brand them to you. Then we distribute them through all of your channels. We also take them and we turn it into one good blog per month. And every other month, we have Darcy Sullivan producing a robust blog with a topic that you pick from her database to help with your SEO. So we essentially become your content marketing agency to make sure your practice is always having ethical, elegant content marketing to help grow your practice. On the coaching side, we also help you with everything from marketing ideas to business, communications, finances, anything practice growth, and really try to help prevent you from being stuck on that island. And we hold you accountable. We have a great group of doctors that are just doing amazing things, and we look forward to help you out to take that next step in your practice. So again, check us out at modernchiropracticmarketing.com and learn more.